words of comfort. Cena just hides her eyes. Policeman taps the shades and sell a Chevy 69. How bizarre.
Is this the entire movie?
I feel like I'm an airline
This is
pilot.
the entire...
We're gonna watch it. Commentary.
Yes.
That'd be way better than.
I'm working
what
on
we're
being
about to
able
do.
to
That would be
quote the whole
sweet.
thing.
Yeah.
We should do that sometime.
Yeah.
Just watch the whole movie.
Yeah, and be like, all right, if you're listening to the podcast, start the movie now.
Morning, everybody.
Hello, welcome back.
This is the earliest we've ever done a podcast.
Have we begun?
This
we've
is the
begun.
most tired
Oh.
we've ever been while doing
Today,
it.
we have a special guest, David Keeler.
Yay!
Thank you, David, for coming in.
You're
So
welcome.
great to have you.
Um,
I feel unprepared. I didn't know we were starting. It was
Yeah,
just-
we've
there's
started.
no green light, no red light. nothing.
Red light.
Today is our Star Wars review, so we have a other special guest, Brenton Polk's here,
That's me.
local Star Wars expert, Star Wars historian.
In
Do
my
they
spare
have a Star
time.
Wars museum? We went to a Star Wars museum. You should have worked there.
It was great.
I really want to go to that one. I went to one when
So
I was
cool.
4 years old
Really? Was it
for my fourth birthday.
the one that we went to? Like, did it have like everything?
No, it was a little different. They had like a Chewbacca exhibit and like an R2D2 and C3PO and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
That's cool.
So we saw a little.
It was like one of the traveling ones that moves around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what
that's
ours
we
was.
saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was sweet. We're talking Star Wars, The Last Jedi, spoilers, alert.
All of them.
Boilers.
So
Are
many
here.
spoilers.
If you haven't seen Revenge of the Sith, you might want to click away because we'll probably be talking about that also.
Because we're gonna spoil it right now. Anakin is Darth Vader.
What? Nobody saw that
Yeah,
coming?
nobody saw that coming. All right, David, you saw the movie last night.
I did.
What did you think of it, buddy?
I really liked it.
You did?
Yeah, it was nice to have one of the new Star Warses be so. It was very different from
Yeah.
stuff we've seen,
It was
and it was
the best.
really good, and it was concentrated on like a very specific problem of when they were just trapped. It was very simple. Like it wasn't this big Death Star thing that
That
was
happened
the end of
super
the
elaborate.
twice
galaxy.
already, 3 times actually.
Yeah.
It's happened in 1, 4, and 7.
Yeah, and it was. I really liked it a lot.
I
That's
thought it was
my
great.
It was awesome.
What
quick
did you think?
summary.
All right, so we're already getting into spoilers here.
yeah.
What did you think of? So there were some controversial scenes, like for example, Leia gets blasted out of a ship, and then Mary Poppins her way back
Yeah.
into the ship. What did you think about that?
While I was watching it, I was like, this is kind of weird, but I didn't feel like I hated it.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with it. It
I-
was just
yeah.
odd looking.
I was fine with it too. I thought it would have been like I knew what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
They were trying to portray like she's force
she
sensitive.
is.
She can use the force.
Exactly.
Whatever.
That was cool.
Which is cool. I thought it would have been a little better. I didn't hate the scene
Yeah.
as much as some people did. Some people were like, "Yeah, freaking, she's Mary
Ruined
Poppins,
Leia."
But I thought it would have been kind of cooler if, like, to show that she like really was like strong in the force or whatever, if she like pulled the ship towards her and then like just landed on it.
Yeah, that I agree.
That would have been kind of cooler. That 'cause
Instead of
we've never
gliding
seen a
over.
Jedi really fly. I don't know. What do you think, Brenton?
There were a couple scenes like that one where I remember thinking like, wait, this is the movie. Like, wow, this is,
Yeah,
they're
this is-
doing
this
this.
is happening.
That was one of them.
Yeah.
When Luke throws the lightsaber over his shoulder, that was
Yeah.
another one. I was like, what?
Yeah, like they put that in the movie.
Wait, when did Luke throw the lights? Oh yeah, that
right
was
when she
beginning.
handed it to him.
I forgot about that.
There was another one that I thought like, what's going
on
on?
Earth.
When Poe was talking to Hux.
Yeah, Poe talking to Hux at the very beginning.
I like that. That's funny.
I thought it was funny. The thing that ruined it for me is Hux just acted like an idiot. Like,
I know.
I think Hux.
He changed in this one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Hux should have just been like, okay, he's playing with me. Screw this guy, and
Yeah.
then got mad. But he was like, can he hear me? And then they
He
were
starts
like,
to ask,
Hux,
can you hear
he's
me? But he
messing with
stops
you.
himself and he's
Yeah.
like, can he hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, he
like
can.
I think they kind of ruined that moment.
Oh my
but at
gosh.
the same time, it was funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
It was whatever.
I'm trying to remember the other moment where I was just like, what on earth is going on?
Snoke dying. Spoilers.
Oh, yeah, he
Nice.
didn't do that. That wasn't it. There was another part. I'm not going to be able to remember it. Dang it.
Snoke. So let's talk about Snoke for a second. Snoke dies. We didn't get an answer on who he was, but the movie kind of just said, "Who cares?"
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah,
care about
that's
who
true.
Snoke is. What did you think about that? I thought that was great
Me too.
because I don't care about Snoke at all. I want to see more angry Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Right. Kylo Ren is the true, you know. They worked on his character a lot more in The Force Awakens
he
than
seems more of a complex
Snoke.
character than Snoke.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Snoke
And so
is
they simply, like, you know, they're like, oh, you thought Snoke was the real bad guy. Moved him out of the way, and so now Kylo Ren can come in and actually be the bad guy.
Right.
Because he's the one that everybody cares about anyways.
Definitely. And yeah, like Snoke's just boring. Like people were like, I didn't get questions on. A lot of people that didn't like the movie that I've talked to were like, why didn't we ever hear anything on Snoke? And I wanted to see like who Snoke was, and I was just like, but then they have other arguments like, well, I don't know. They just got mad, but I just thought they were. It was weird that people wanted another Emperor situation. Like
Yeah.
we've already had that with the Emperor. We don't need another one.
Yeah.
Like let's do something new.
Right.
So what they went for is almost like a Anakin Skywalker if he didn't lose to Obi-Wan situation. Like it's almost just like
Yeah.
Anakin if he never actually turned into Darth Vader and he was just like the evil Anakin version that we saw in 3.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
can
really
get that.
excited to
That's
see
true.
what they do with that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's different than in Return of the Jedi because in Return of the Jedi you kind of don't really see what Palpatine can do, but he's also like the main
That's
bad
true.
guy.
Yeah.
But then they switch it in this one, so like you see that Snoke can do it. Like he's throwing people around. He's
Yeah.
like making light. What does he make the lightning come up out of the ground,
No,
or does he
like,
make it
shoots
bounce?
onto the ground and bounces off?
Yeah,
which
he
is cool.
he does
Yeah.
that. You know, he's got all these like the guards that he has are so much better than Palpatine's guards.
Yeah.
Those were really cool.
A friend of mine thinks that those were the Knights of Ren, but I don't think that's
That
correct.
was I heard that theory too, but I don't think so.
Those guys were cool though. I also,
Also-
liked how he killed
All of them.
Snoke
Yeah, I thought
and how he was like he could feel what was going inside of him, which was correct. It was just
was
directed towards.
I was so like
Snoke.
when I saw it coming. Well, I kind of saw it coming.
It,
When
went, it went too
lightsaber-
fast for me.
When he like clenched his hand, I knew, or like when he wanted him to kill her, I knew that he wasn't going to kill her. I didn't think he was going
Right.
to kill Snoke until the lightsaber started moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's going to kill him. But that was like a moment where I was like, this is either going to make or break the movie for me. If Kylo turns into a good guy here, I'm going to get so mad.
Yeah.
But luckily, he didn't. He just turned into a more angry
Well,
guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
they finally changed. They worked on a villain in a good way. So they changed the way the villain kind of thinks.
Yeah.
And so, like, you actually got to see. It's almost like the prequels. Like, you see how the villain kind of not turns into a villain because he was always bad,
Yeah.
but he's like sharpened, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is something you haven't really seen in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and it was also kind of like the Anakin thing where like it was just like his hate kind of took over because you kind of see through this movie and the last one how much Snoke is kind of just like a bully to him.
Yeah.
Like Snoke's like, take your stupid helmet off. That was really funny. He's like, that thing
That
looks
was.
dumb. He's like mad about that, and like he just like hates on him the whole time. So
Yeah.
then, like freaking Kylo's just like, all right, screw this.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad emo Kylo is still alive.
there was a there's been an awakening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tweeted a thing from Emo Kylo on Twitter, and it was just like, "Dear Diary, there have been some changes." I was like, yeah.
That
That's
one's
so funny.
Do both of you have to know it's a date? I saw that one too. That was funny.
What about the new characters? What did you guys think of the new characters? We had Rose, Benicio del Toro's character, who I guess you could just call the code breaker or something.
Yeah.
Who was awesome.
I
I
liked
thought he
him.
was sweet.
Yeah.
Like his little stutter and everything.
He was
I
cool.
actually wish we saw more of him.
No, I feel like they did him perfectly. Like
Well, I
he was
think
only supposed
they
to be
didn't
in a
do too
small
much.
part, and like they didn't be like, oh, surprise, he's actually a good guy.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
just,
I'm glad they did that too.
Yeah.
What I mean is, like, I want to see more of him in the future, hopefully, maybe.
'Cause he
with
did
the
so well.
Bad
Yeah.
guys, because he did so well. But I think they did, like, a perfect amount in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't overuse him, and they didn't use him too little.
Yeah.
Like you knew his purpose, you knew what he was thinking.
And DJ stands for.
I don't know what.
Oh, you guys didn't see that.
No.
DJ. Before the movie came out, they were like DJ. That's like a big part of who his character is. What does DJ stand for? DJ stands for don't join. It's written on his hat, and it's
Whoa.
what he tells Finn to do if he wants to be free. He says, "Don't join."
I didn't hear that.
That's
I
cool.
heard that.
And so my favorite quote of his in the movie is he's kind of just like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Like at the end of the movie, Finn is like, he tells him like, you're wrong. And he's just like,
Maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
I could be, maybe. And then he just walks away and you never see him again. So it's just like, I like that. I like that he wasn't like, he was kind of his own thing and he stayed true to his character. Even.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
exactly
that was
what
good.
his character
So-
was supposed to do. And
That's
then
true.
we had Rose.
I think she's the most controversial of
You
like
think?
if people really liked her or really didn't like her.
Yeah, I think out of the characters, I agree.
Yeah, I think I would have liked her if she died, but I don't think she died.
I think she ruined an amazing moment
Yeah,
at the end.
exactly.
No, but you were expecting that moment though. Like everybody, like
It was so
I
weird.
prepared my heart. I was like, all right, this is the end for Finn. Like I was like
Right.
waiting, and then you even see his ship like shake, like which is what
Yeah.
happens right before it blows up. But then he doesn't blow up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was kind of bummed about that.
And then they have this weird moment where she's dying, and then
Yeah.
like
I kissed you,
she
dummy.
has
Or, I
a
saved
monologue.
you, dummy.
She's like, "Yeah, saved you, dummy," and then like
Kisses him like really
you
awkwardly.
win this by saving the ones you love with like the cannon destroying the base in the background. It's like what?
Well, yeah, but like I think Finn, Loki. I love Finn as a character. He's kind of cool. He didn't do a whole lot in this movie that was helpful.
That's
but
true.
This is cool.
I think dying there would have very much fulfilled his character's role. Like, dying to save his friends and let him get away,
Yeah.
I think would have been very, like, that was the moment where they could have been like, Finn died a hero and, like, was able to redeem himself. So I think, like, it would have made sense if he died there. He didn't die there. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I mean, he's back. Cool. We'll see what he does next. And he's with Rose or whatever. But you
Yeah, I
did
think
kinda
there's more
ruin
for him
that
to do.
moment. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I
Hopefully
hope so.
that's what they mean by that.
Yeah.
Like,
Plus, his
he's not
death
just
would have
meant to
been
die.
like way overshadowed by Luke leaving.
Yeah, that's true.
Luke dies, by the way.
Yeah, Luke
He passes.
dies. What do you guys think about how Luke died?
Skipping
That
all
Do you
the
think
way
it
to
was
the
okay,
end.
or do you think
I liked
like,
it.
perfect.
It was
I thought it was
perfect.
great too.
Like you can't if given the fact that Luke Skywalker will die, I don't think you could come up with a better way.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you
I
could
agree.
come up with a better way.
Same.
I agree. I think the whole portrayal of Luke in this movie was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, I think a reason people hated it was they were like, Luke isn't this perfect. Like they made Luke like not perfect anymore. And I was like, well, yeah, no one in this universe has ever been perfect, and they're showing that like he messed up too.
Well, not
Yeah.
only that, that's like the point of the movie is
Yeah.
like
Right.
failure. That's what Yoda tells Luke. He
Yeah.
says the greatest
Yoda
teacher.
the puppet, may I say?
Yes,
That was awesome.
Great.
extra brownie
Great.
points to
I
Ryan Johnson.
loved
for
Oh
that.
Yoda.
my gosh, I'm so glad they didn't use CGI.
Yeah.
agree.
Even
me
though
too.
like it would have potentially looked better, like that CGI Yoda is a younger Yoda.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they used the older Yoda, which
The
is
old Yoda.
the
He was
ones from
still a little
5, 6.
goofy. But back to what I was saying, like Yoda tells him, failure is what can be the best teacher. Whenever Finn and Rose go on their mission, they fail. Whenever Poe is like trying to figure out like what Holdo is doing and he's like learning his whole deal, he fails. Like the
Yeah.
whole thing is people are failing, and then out of that failure, the rebellion is born, which
Yeah, he pointed that
I didn't
out
catch
to me on
this
the way here.
until probably about the second or third viewing, but they start calling it the rebellion at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
So the rebellion is back.
Wow.
But not the resistance anymore.
And not
Yes.
praise God.
Thank goodness.
The
What are they
resistance was a
resisting?
failure.
Resistance is just the hipster rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so Luke, I thought it was really cool how he died. I thought, like, him almost kind of redeeming himself even. I mean, he didn't necessarily need to redeem himself because he kind of stopped the Emperor and Darth Vader. And it was kind of already
Yeah.
pretty cool. But for, like, helping everyone at the end there and using the Force again.
That was
after
really
not
cool.
using it, that was That was pretty sweet.
when it switched to him
Everyone
floating
was
on
like
the rock.
cheering
Yeah.
opening night.
See, the
They
thing
saw him like on that rock. And
the
they're like,
thing is that the movie, like, if I were to watch it slower, I probably could have come to the conclusion, like, because I noticed, oh, he has the blue lightsaber. Why does he have the blue
Right.
lightsaber? How did he get in? Like, I noticed all that in the movie, but it went
how did he get in?
too quick for my brain to, like,
Connect all the
process.
dots.
connect everything. Same thing with
I
Kylo
guessed-
killing Snoke.
I guessed immediately.
I couldn't think it fast enough. I saw the lightsaber turning, and I was like, what is going on? And,
you
given a
couldn't
couple
get
more
that.
seconds, no, it was just like, all of a
I
sudden,
knew immediately when the lightsaber started
Yeah.
shaking. I was like, oh, he's gonna kill him.
Snoke.
And then
I couldn't piece
and
it
then
together fast enough.
right when he walked in the cave, I was like, no, he's not there. He's not there because he looked younger. He sat down next to Leia, and like I think when they did that like hand touch thing, I was like, this is exactly what Kylo and Rey did, and he's just better at it, so he can actually like, go there or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's not there.
What if her hand
I
just,
told
like,
Evan
went
Malcolm
through,
next to me, I was like, he's not there. Then he walked out, got shot by a million
They-
AT-ATs, which
That was cool.
I actually
They leave a
thought-
lot of clues as to how you could, like, what you picked up on. Like, whenever he's walking, he doesn't make any footprints in the
Yeah.
Really?
in the salt.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Whenever, like, Poe is like saying, like, how did he get in? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
how'd he
there's
get
no
in?
way that
Yeah.
he could get in. He has the same lightsaber.
It's crazy that he was able to like make the dice thing. Mm-hmm. Like,
Can we talk
real,
about that
'cause he,
after
like,
this?
Handed that, yeah, sure. Like he like handed that to her, and she like held it,
Yeah,
which is kind of wild.
I don't know how
But
Yeah.
like the rest of it, I mean, I think it would have been really cool if he actually got blasted by a million AT-ATs and lived. Like,
Yeah.
that would have been the most like force powerful moment in
Yeah.
any Star Wars movie, probably.
and they were able to play that off just because he's Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
Everyone's
like,
like,
everyone
yeah.
in the theater opening night was
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
I
like,
got
totally.
he got out of like all the dust and everything, and my first thought was like, his clothes aren't even dirty. Like,
You just-
what's going
you
on?
just
Yeah.
He,
shot
brushed,
Jesus.
he brushed off
You
nothing
just
from his
tried to
shoulder.
kill
There wasn't anything
Jesus
there.
Christ.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
man.
was
that was
really
funny.
cool.
That made me laugh when Kylo ordered them to shoot him with everything they had.
Yeah,
Very.
But
emo
I
Kylo.
love that because that just showed more about how angry Kylo's getting.
Yeah.
and how over the top
Yeah.
he's gonna be. He's
When
just gonna be
more-
like, blow up that planet.
when
He's just
he
gonna go
yelled
crazy.
to blow the Millennium Falcon up. He yells like, "Blow it out of the sky!" And his voice just jumps up because he's so mad.
Yeah,
like I
thought
identified
his
with
performance
that.
was amazing.
Yeah, it was really
He said,
good.
blow that piece of trash out of the sky.
Yeah, that was really
Brenton
good.
pointed another thing out. The little dish on the top of the Millennium Falcon gets hit off,
Again,
so they have to buy another one again. And they
Yep.
said that. Which one? They said that in the fourth movie?
it got blown off in episode 6, the
Six.
little circle one, and they replaced it for 7. It was actually, I don't know if it's the exact same one, but it's the same kind of dish that was on the Tantive 4, the blockade runner, Rebel blockade runner.
Oh, okay.
From episode 4,
Mhm.
Leia's ship, and then it got blown off in this one, so now they got to get another one.
Dang, poor them.
Yeah. Oh well.
What are those dice? I've never seen them before. Have I?
I think they're in an old movie. They're in an older one.
Yeah, they're always hanging up there.
They're just hanging
You
on
only
the
see
side.
them
They have
hanging up
always been
there
hanging up
in
there.
episode 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. I
They're
thought
the
it might have been
dice.
It's
something
just
like
like
that.
a little thing.
they're the dice that Han Solo won the Millennium Falcon with from Lando.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so he like gave them to her, and then they actually ended up not being real.
Yeah.
And she didn't take them, which I also thought was kind of
Kylo
odd.
ended up with them.
Well, yeah, and then they disappeared.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like
what is-
Leia,
what does
I felt
he
like
say when
Leia
he
would
hands
have
them to
been
her?
like, I'm gonna hold on to these, but potentially
She's
she
like,
knew
nah.
he wasn't there.
Yeah, well, he says no one's ever really gone, and then he hands them to her, and then later when he tells Kylo, if you strike me down in anger, I'll always be with you. And turns out he's a hologram, and then Kylo Ren goes and picks up the dice, which are a symbol
Yeah,
of his
and they
father,
disappear.
and they disappear just like Luke. And so it's like, and Luke says, I'll always be with you just like your father. So like you have,
Right.
you know that he's still thinking about his father and about Luke now.
Right. I'm just thinking it's funny that, like, I would have thought that Leia would have taken those dice if she didn't know that he wasn't actually there, which I guess she probably knew he wasn't there. so
She must
wouldn't
have,
cared.
yeah.
But I would have thought that she would have taken those dice with her when they were leaving, because they were like Han's like thing, and she
Mhm.
would have remembered Han through them. But I guess she was just like, screw these things. Just left
Well-
them on the ground.
Yeah, but the actual dice are there. They were on the Millennium Falcon
Oh, okay.
from the earlier
Right,
in the movie
that
because
makes
Luke
sense.
looks at him. So I don't know if he takes them or if if he did, then I guess they're on Octo somewhere. But if not, they're probably still in the Falcon.
Yeah. There was another thing I wanted to talk about. Another plot point.
I did not like the Jurassic Park woman.
You
didn't
didn't
like Laura Dern?
Holdo? I started hating her, and then I ended loving her, and then, well, I started hating her, then I loved her, and then I felt, oh, you're kind of an idiot. They killed your friends anyways, and then I thought, well, I still love you, and then they did a really cool moment.
That was one of my favorite moments of the movie.
That was incredible.
Oh my gosh, that was
like
so
everyone
cool.
in the theater, when we went, you were there.
Yeah, but
like,
nobody
was
was
just all
shut up.
quiet, and we were just like,
Yeah, that was amazing.
No, it was loud. People were
no.
yelling.
The opening night at the IMAX, everyone was like, oh.
Yeah, that's
that's
not
like
being
the-
quiet.
All together, that's loud.
All together compared to like a
Yeah, that's
quiet.
what happened the second time I went. I could talk for a whole nother podcast about my just like how much I hate seeing movies with people because
Oh, dude, you'd hate
They're
seeing
so
movies
annoying.
with me.
But we
Literally
shouldn't
the
get
whole
into
time,
that.
I'm like calling what's gonna happen next to the people next.
yeah,
to me.
but that's fine because you're like being quiet about it. Like I'm talking
Oh,
about
no,
like,
he's
people
not.
behind you like
yeah,
yelling.
Sure. No, yeah, I hate that.
I think Luke deserves an Oscar for his eyebrows as he's getting back up
What?
onto the rock.
What?
After when he sustains the
Yeah.
projection and then he
Sweet.
falls and then he climbs back up on the rock, his eyebrows are like white and the whole rest of his face is like blood red.
Dang it!
Like you could tell he is tired.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
he died.
That was
so-
good.
because he.
That was the most epic, like, two suns stare down when he's staring off into the new
Oh,
two suns.
that was sweet.
That was really cool.
And Canto Bight has 2 moons. Like you know how the kid on Cantonica is
Oh,
opening up
wow.
moons?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he
Whenever
does.
you don't see it whenever he's looking out because they don't show it, but whenever Finn and Rose are riding on the
There's 2
horse
moons.
things, there are 2 moons
Yeah,
you can see
there
in the
were.
sky.
That's cool.
What? So, I don't know. Maybe there are answers on this, but do we know what that dark pit thing that Rey was in is, or if it had anything? Because it was on the same. Also, did you notice the tree that the books were kept in, where the Jedi temple was modeled after it? Did you notice that?
I didn't. I didn't notice that, but I
The
read it
Jedi
somewhere.
temple on Coruscant is the exact same
That's
like
cool.
model of that. So that was a cool
Also,
little detail.
the books didn't burn.
The books didn't. Well,
They're on the
Rey took
Falcon.
The books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The books. And actually, Yoda
Very subtle
says,
shot.
Yoda, this is great because Yoda knows. Because he says, you know, he's talking about the books. He says, you know, wisdom they held.
They're not really
Page
big.
turners, they were not.
But he says, but those books contain nothing that the girl Rey does not already possess.
That's
He doesn't
good.
say doesn't already know
'Cause
because
she
she hasn't
does
read
possess them.
but she possesses them because
That's
she already took
funny.
them. Yoda's covering for it.
That's very funny.
Yoda's a cool dude. He's just got humor.
Yeah.
He's got funny humor. No, but do we know anything about that pit or like
I
the
don't.
glass wall?
No, I got nothing.
Because that was very interesting.
I mean, she went down there looking for her parents, and I remember that part watching it, and I was just like,
Dude,
oh my
heart
gosh,
was
show
beating.
me who her parents
I
are.
was like, we're gonna find out right now. And the silhouette walked up to the mirror, and I was like,
It
oh my
went
gosh!
so
and then nothing
slow.
happened.
and
I thought
was
that
just
was really
what
cool.
on earth? Is
I
she
really
her own
liked-
parents?
What?
I was like, is she her own parent? Is this another Anakin
Basically.
Skywalker conception thing?
No. Shoot. Oh, I just really liked like Force Awakens was very obviously this is all A New Hope
Yeah.
with new stuff. This just had very cool like parallels to Empire and Return of the Jedi that I really liked.
Right. There's a healthy limit of how much you can kind of take from another movie, and I
Yeah.
thought this one was within
All the- I
because they
think-
did take some stuff
Yeah,
from 5.
definitely. But I liked how they did it and that it wasn't overdone.
All of the callbacks in this one had a purpose.
Right.
Like it wasn't just like, ha ha, this guy. It was
Except
like
for Gwendolyn Christie.
it was like somebody like Yoda.
Phasma.
Oh yes.
Phasma was such a waste of. a
I even
boring
read the
character.
book. I read her book, and like in the book, she's like this super like
She was so
boss
bad.
warrior.
She was the lamest character in
And
any
then-
Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what they were thinking with.
Sadly,
Um,
she could have been cool, but no.
Man, okay, this is kind of getting into theory town, and I don't really want to have any theories going into the next one because I'm
I love
glad to
Theory
not
Town.
have questions for the next
That's my favorite
Love it.
town.
Theory Town. I'm glad not having questions for the next 2 years and having to think over anything. Like, it's nice.
Yeah.
Because 7 was the worst, having the 2 years to think about who people were.
Oh,
And
but
I
it was
don't
fun,
think,
though.
But So Kylo says that Rey's parents are nobody and nothing and no one and who cares, which I'm totally fine with. Anakin's parents were nobody, nothing, and who cares.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's like that's how it is. But I low key think that he was lying just to get her to be angry and like not care.
I disagree.
You think they're just nobody?
I think it's important that they're nobody. And I'm sure you've seen this on like online or in YouTube videos.
Can you get a tiny bit closer to your mic?
Yes.
Tiny bit. Thank you. You can move it back towards you if you want.
Now I'm more comfortable. Whoa, that was really loud. I think it's important that she isn't anybody because it shows that, like, you know, you don't have to be a Skywalker
It's
to
true.
be
That
this
kid
super
at the
powerful
end.
Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I mean, they could change it back, and like change it back meaning that it never changed in the first place. But like, I don't think it would be wise of them to do it. Because like in The Force Awakens,
I
she
don't
holds
want them
her
to.
own against Kylo Ren, and you're just like if she is like Luke's daughter, then you're like,
I don't think
well,
that's
of course,
the case
that's
at all.
why.
I don't think that's.
I feel like they're trying to show that like you don't have to be a Skywalker to be this amazing Jedi. You don't have to have, you
Right.
know.
The other reason I
all
think
these
that
powers.
is
Yeah.
because
I agree.
of Kylo and Rey's connection. Like they're able to like talk
Mhm.
and stuff, and we see that a lot. The only time we've seen that other than this movie is with Luke and Leia
And Luke and Vader.
and Luke and Vader.
Right.
So Rey and Kylo being able to do that is interesting. And Snoke said he was the one doing it, but they do it at the end of the movie, but once he's dead too.
Yeah, but don't you think that that's kind of just like don't I was thinking that it was like it was a one-time thing that he did. He just bridged their minds, so now they can do that, and he wasn't like sustaining it.
Oh, I see. Maybe that's. The
I
case.
hope that they can
Yeah,
continue to
probably.
do that because that would be really,
really
good in the
cool.
next movie if like they're these two like opposites, evil and
Yeah.
good, and they're
Yeah.
still talking back and forth like that.
That
That'd be
was a
cool.
really cool idea.
Yeah.
And I think it was interesting how, like, Kylo was just, like, using her to, like, or he was trying to find out where she was by it. And, like, I'm wondering if they'll play more to that where, like, they find the rebellion now just because Kylo's, like, talking to her and he finds out where they are and he's just like, all right, she's here.
Yeah.
That'd
That'd be
cool.
interesting.
Well, it was cool what they did with that was because they both, when they touched hands, it says that they both saw something.
Yeah.
And what they both saw was true. But they both saw like, oh, you'll turn and you'll fight with me. And so,
They both saw that.
which happened because they fought with each other. But then after that, that was where the argument. So they
Yeah.
saw the future, but they didn't see far enough.
Interesting.
Right. That's true.
Oh, I didn't think about
And Luke
that.
picks
I
up on
thought
it.
that-
He's like, this isn't going to go the way you
That
think.
makes me way happier.
So
Because
Yeah.
I was thinking that just means eventually Kylo is going to turn good.
Right.
And and then I kind of just threw Rey's out the window. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. Right? But that makes so much more sense. And
Well, and it's the
makes
same
me
thing with
happier.
what Snoke is saying too, because when Snoke is saying what he sees in Kylo Ren's mind, he actually is seeing that.
Right. Yeah.
what?
That's
Like
cool.
he says, I see, you know, my
You're about
apprentice
to
turning the lightsaber
strike
to
down.
kill his true enemy. Like that's what he's doing.
He
I mean,
says
he's
that?
turning his
Yeah.
lightsaber here, but you see him. He's turning the lightsaber. You know, you see it
Yeah.
moving on the thing, and then
He says, I see you turning the lightsaber to kill your true enemy.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so funny.
It
I
is.
didn't even notice that. I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once.
it's very like that.
Saw it last
Watching
Thursday.
it, yeah, watching it the second time, I was just like, oh, this is so much. Like you
That's
can piece
so
everything
interesting.
together.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with whenever they're talking on the elevator, they're saying like, you know, I saw that you'll turn and you'll fight with me, which, you know, it does happen.
That was cool.
Kylo's little emo moment in that elevator was so funny.
Yeah,
He's like,
I
take your
loved it.
stupid helmet off. And Kylo gets
Take
in
that
the elevator. You can
ridiculous
hear him
helmet
like,
off.
Yep. Fuming.
he just starts punching stuff.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I
glad they
really
got rid of
like
the
how
helmet.
they are introducing new aspects of the Force, like
yeah.
the Skype calls that they have.
For Skype.
Yeah. And like in
I
Force
agree.
Awakens with like the mind
The
when he
mind
was in
thing.
her
He
mind.
uses that in this one too.
Yeah.
Snoke does, yeah.
A little
And we
bit.
see how it works. I almost thought that it was potentially just like you get them to talk, but it's more just like you just take it out of them,
Yeah.
which is
In,
cool.
in the Force Awakens book, it talks a little bit about that, like the novel. Because, well, it talks about it whenever Kylo Ren is doing that to Poe.
Yeah.
And it's saying like
Right,
it
I
talks
thought
about
that's
how
what-
Poe is the best soldier and that he never would give anything away, but
he
since
did.
it's Kylo Ren, like it's like he's exempt from being considered like having given up the secrets because Kylo Ren, like the nature of that power is that he does get what he wants.
There's no way
Yeah.
you're not.
And
hiding
so-
things.
That's true.
Can we talk about Poe for a second? He was kind of annoying. Like, I started liking him, and then I ended being like, all right, you're getting a little annoying. And then I liked him at the end again.
I liked him the whole time.
But he was like, it was like, all right, dude, you gotta stop. Like, you're not in control.
No, I
Which
was
I
annoyed.
understand
I was
where
like,
he's
this
coming
woman
from.
is not in control.
This
Leia
woman-
needs to wake back up, and Poe needs
No,
to do
that's when I liked Poe. When Poe was just like getting mad because she was taking over, I was like, all right.
because she was
Like,
doing nothing.
Yeah,
She was
but
gonna
then,
kill him.
But then when you find out that she's like gonna save everybody, and then he was like, "Wait, no, you can't do that." I was like,
I guess you
Poe.
can. No, I like Poe's. Like they worked on Poe's character a lot. With
They did.
all the characters that were weaker in The Force Awakens, they either really worked on them or they killed him off. So Phasma,
true.
Snoke killed him off.
Yeah.
Poe
Which is
they
great.
really worked on, and so his whole journey through the movie that was like super clear to me. So like in the beginning, like the first scene is him being he's really reckless. He's not thinking about it. There's a scene where like.
Yeah,
The
he
First
does
Order
grow a
shows
lot in
up
this
and he's
movie.
like, jump to light speed. Like, we got to do that. We have to get away.
Yeah.
And then, Leia, you see her, she uses her leadership skills and she's like, well, hold on. We need to think about this for a second. If we jump to light speed, they're just going to track us again. So you see Poe
Yeah.
fails, which is a huge part of this
Right.
movie. And as he kind of bounces off of Admiral Holdo, you see him kind of learn to become a leader through her because, like, he over the course of that interaction realizes that something else is going on even though he doesn't realize it. And so that's why I didn't have really that big of a problem with Holdo, is because I didn't really see her as her own character. I saw her as like a tool to like build Poe with.
A tool.
Interesting.
And so like that's why I wasn't like, oh, her character's weak, because she's a very static character, whereas Poe, you like need to see how he changes.
Yeah.
Right.
And at the end of the movie, like there's that one scene where what's her name? I think she's a lieutenant, Connix, Carrie Fisher's daughter in real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, oh, she's running away. And Poe is like, no, she isn't. Because he knows now there's something else going on. I need to look past,
Yeah.
what it seems like.
Right.
And you see him really like start to learn to actually be a leader. Same thing
Right.
whenever Luke is going out. He's like, he's doing this for a reason. He's trying
Yeah.
to piece it all out.
All right.
And so,
Actually, I thought Poe was going to be the one to, like, when he called everyone off at the end, I thought he was going to be the one to try and, like, kill himself, but then didn't.
Well, yeah, that's like a part of how you see him grow, because
Yeah, 'cause
in
he
the
calls
very
everyone
beginning, he's the
It's
one
true,
that
you do
switches
see him
off
grow a lot in
her,
this movie.
and then in the end, it's Finn who switches off
Finn.
the
Yeah.
communication and
So,
just goes suicide.
so with Poe,
Suicide.
I thought they did Poe really good in this movie, and not a lot of other people think that. I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think they did great. Like, I think you see him grow a lot. I just got annoyed by him.
He was a little annoying when he gets up there and he's like, "You're not just a coward, you're a traitor."
Yeah, I was like, all right, dude, calm down. Like, calm down.
And also, there's 40 rebels left, and you got like 10 or 15 of them, and you're making a mutiny. You know,
Like, calm down, buddy.
That was funny.
What did you think of? Let's talk about the humor. Like I think we touched on a little bit with like that beginning scene with Hux, but like there was some pretty funny parts. Like the porgs were amazing.
Yeah,
they weren't
they
overused.
They worked.
I'm
They
Team
worked well.
Voltex, just for the record.
Team what?
Voltex.
What's
What is-
that?
oh, the little
The crystal
ice
foxes.
foxes.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness,
Those were cool.
They're incredible.
They looked like Pokemon.
Yeah, they did.
They did actually.
Porgs kind of did too, a little bit.
Vulpix is a Pokemon.
I know.
and it's a
Vulpix.
fox Pokemon.
It's an electric fox.
I was
It's
seeing-
a fire fox.
I was sick of seeing all the pork stuff
Isn't
for
that-
so
Fight
long
me.
before the movie came out, but
Vulpix is the fire one.
Yeah.
they were great in the movie.
Which one's the electric?
Oh, that's a Gen 3 Pokemon. I don't know what it is because I don't have it yet. In Pokemon
Vulpix
Go.
is the
I
fire
play
one?
Pokemon Go, by the way, proudly.
I used to play all
Still.
the Pokemon games. Yeah, he still plays Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Vulpix, are you sure? No, Flareon's the
I don't.
fire one.
No,
No,
Flareon evolves from
Pokemon.
Eevee.
Yeah.
Vulpix is its own Pokemon. It's a
Oh, I know what you. Yeah, you're right. It's Vulpix looks nothing like. I'm thinking of
Flareon. You're thinking of an electric kind of
Must-
looking. It evolves from Electrike. I know that, but I don't know what it's called.
No, I'm not. That's I think that's
Pardon us for a moment while we sort
Most
this out.
people don't know what you're talking about. I don't.
cares?
I know I don't.
I'm thinking of the electric version of Eevee.
Oh, Jolteon.
Jolteon.
Yeah.
That looks like the thing. Just
Yeah,
not
yeah.
crystallized.
I agree.
But like none of the animals were overused. All the animals that you saw were like new and cool.
The nuns, man,
The
that was
nuns
so
were so
funny. They're having
cool.
this little argument about like amongst themselves, like, oh, this is what the heck, this is broken.
The casino was cool.
I need to go into more depth on that. Like, I need to like look at, there's a book written about it or something, because it wasn't enough for me. Like, there wasn't. Well, it just wasn't like there was a general atmosphere, but like you didn't get to go as in depth as I wanted to with that.
Right, I agree. I think they spent too much time in prison.
Yeah.
And not enough time like looking around the actual casino. I would have liked to see more of the actual thing, but that whole planet was cool.
It was.
In my opinion. I heard another friend say like he had an argument. He was like, "Dude, why didn't they just go to Coruscant?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like,
I'm trying to think, where's Coruscant?
why would you
in
want them
relation
to go back there? You've already seen that.
I mean,
You've seen so much
Coruscant
of-
is all the way on the other side.
It's probably very far away, but not even that. It's like you're getting more of this world. Why do you want to go back to the
Yeah,
old
that's true.
stuff? Like, you don't want to see it again. You want to see new stuff. Or you should want to.
Although I disagree with that on one account, and this is a little bit of a different area, but I think this is really, really short. I think that in the prequels, instead of calling Naboo, they should have just called the entire planet Alderaan.
Ooh.
Because it's on Alderaan?
No, because you know that Alderaan got destroyed,
Yeah.
and so if you see that, Padme Amidala is from Alderaan, and then you see, all this stuff happens on Naboo, the whole invasion of Alderaan and all that, if it's all instead of Naboo, it's Alderaan, it would have been so much better. Because then
Yeah.
you actually, like, they
would've
bring in
felt
Naboo
more.
as this brand new planet, and you're just like, okay, this random planet, all this stuff happens on it. And then Alderaan you never really get to see because it just gets blown up. So,
Oh, I
like,
see
they
what
could
you're
still
saying.
bring in a whole new world,
I see.
but they could just flesh out Alderaan instead of
Right.
Naboo.
I
That would have
see.
been cool.
That would have been interesting.
But
I was
got that
sad
from a
when
YouTube
But you
channel.
never
They-
see Alderaan.
You do like once or twice, but like it's not that important. So like whenever, like it would create more emotional attachment to the planet Alderaan when it gets blown up
Right.
in Episode 4.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
makes sense a little bit.
I was sad when they panned over to the right and you saw the racetrack and it was a bunch of animals, not pod racers.
I wasn't even thinking about
It
that,
was a
but,
totally different planet.
but
Yeah,
don't
I know,
you think
but
the
I still
riders
thought
get on the what are they called?
They
The
could still
wolf
have
dog-
I can't
or
pronounce
horse
it.
racing in a
dogs.
different
Okay,
You don't think they were like, now this is horse racing or anything like that?
It seemed like they were trying to like do like a quick pause the movie. We're gonna bring up like
well, they were
animal
like, we need an action
protection.
sequence, quick.
like animal rights.
Animal rights. We need an
Scene.
action sequence. I think definitely the
It
stampede
rubbed me a little bit the wrong
thing.
way.
Yeah, thanks.
The stampede thing, I think, was definitely the biggest unneeded scene in the movie.
There was a lot
It
of
like, we
unneeded
don't-
stuff that happened on that planet.
Yeah, it was like, well, technically every single thing that they did didn't help at all.
Going to the planet was very unneeded.
Yeah,
actually.
going to the planet was unneeded. Going to the Star Destroyer was unneeded. Literally everything that Poe and Rose did.
Right, because their mission failed.
Yeah.
But see, if you look at it in terms of that, they go to Cantonica, and their whole mission is a failure except for that part where they, she says, "I wish I could throw my fist through this whole lousy, beautiful town." And then she
Oh.
does. That's the only part of their mission that actually isn't a failure because
success, 'cause
you know
they actually
they
did
couldn't
what they
get the
wanted to
master
do.
code breaker. They had to get this other second-rate guy. They came back like it was all for nothing,
took the
anyways.
saddle
But she
off the
did get her
horse.
moment, and so that was like
I felt so good
Yeah,
for
it's
those
true.
horse dog things.
They were
I was
really
so
cool.
happy. Except like it was a waste of time, kind of.
They're
I
probably
thought they were
get-
gonna.
like-
I thought they were gonna run right into the wall of the cliff.
Yeah, I thought that animal was
Yeah,
gonna
same.
cross over the cliff too.
No. I mean, whenever they jump up the cliff,
Oh,
I thought it was
yeah.
just gonna splat.
That was cool.
Oh. I also thought that
They're probably just gonna catch
I
them
thought
again
that
though.
the wolf dogs were
They have
like
helicopters.
sacrificing themselves, like go and we'll run, but then they didn't. So I was like, okay, good, they
That's
didn't
funny.
die.
I was thinking, don't go into the long grass.
What about
from Jurassic
the weird
Park 2.
blue milk animal?
That was
That was odd.
nasty.
That was weird.
That was hilarious.
I don't think anyone was expecting that.
Just like.
But Luke,
gross.
like how they showed how Luke's been living there was all cool.
I liked the big
The big sphere.
getting the fish. That was awesome.
There's a book called The Legends of Luke Skywalker that came out. I haven't read it, but I know I've like listened to like how it goes on a podcast. And there's a scene where Luke goes to this planet, and there are these people that they call the Force something else. They don't call it the Force, but they do. They're like working with the Force and things like that. And so in order to, there's like this whole story. They have to like, he wants to learn about it, and they won't teach him more about like how they see the Force unless he does all these challenges. And so it's like kind of like a Hercules thing. He has to go through these 5 challenges, and the 5th one Luke actually can't do, and it's he has to stand on top of this really high rock and have this really long stick, and like he has to like move something through like a bunch of currents or something with this stick, and it's exactly what he's doing with that fish.
That's interesting.
But I haven't read the book.
So Luke
End of story.
kind of just stopped using the Force.
Yes, there's an oath or something that's in a comic book that I haven't read about it.
Yoda comes up, he's like, there is an oath or something in a comic book that I have not read that says
It is not a page turner.
Page turner.
it's
It was
not a
not.
page turner. But yeah, so like he just stopped using the Force because it was too strong, or he was scared of it or something.
What did he say?
Like, what was that? I was like, that's kind of weird. Why would you just stop using it? She was just like, you haven't been using the Force.
He was-
yeah, she says you close yourself off from the
He was
Force.
like, yeah, I have, because all the
Oh,
Jedi
yeah.
has been marked by failure and like hypocrisy and corruption and whatever.
I think he says that's when he does the whole I've seen this raw strength only once before in
Yeah.
Ben Solo. So I guess he's like, oh no, it's too powerful. I'm not going to deal with that.
Basically, he
That's
gives up.
basically all he says. He's just like, no, it's too strong.
Well, that's when he pulls the quote out. He's like, it scares me basically.
That was crazy that because with the Force, they were always talking about the light is equal to the dark, and the pit was the dark on the island. And,
Yeah, it was like the upside down.
and she saw no light from Luke.
Yeah.
Who did?
Rey
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
see
she
any
did.
light from Luke that would have matched the pit.
Well, I think potentially that tree was the light on the.
Well, they burned that down.
Yeah, they burned that down. So the
Yoda did, so I
planet's
guess he knows what he's
darkness.
doing.
Yeah, Yoda
What
was
that
okay
little
with
pond
it.
thing?
The what?
There's a little fountain.
Oh.
Is that anything?
What do you mean the little fountain?
There's a little fountain thing. There's the water in it. It's like a little, like mosaic on the ground.
Oh, I don't know.
It was weird too.
I will
Whatever.
Very
I'll get
Kung
back
Fu
to
Panda.
you on that after I read the
All right.
visual dictionary.
So Brenton, what would you rate the movie?
Oh gosh.
Well, wow, this is unexpected. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
this question. I'm not prepared.
Really? You've
Yeah.
seen it how many times? 3?
4.
4?
Yeah.
And you still can't rate it?
What do you rate it,
I
Joe?
like out of what and like on what.
You decide.
That's not helpful.
Like anything.
I give it 1 gold star.
1 gold star.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
10
good or
points.
bad? Is that like out of 5 stars or just 1 gold star is the gold star?
It's out of 3 thumbs ups.
It gets sprinkles in my book. Sprinkles
I
are for
very
winners.
confusing.
Maybe 8 porgs out of 9.
8 out of 9.
8
Solid
out of
B.
9.
I don't
I
think
don't know if
that's
that's
an
a B.
I said B.
No, I said I think it's an A.
Oh.
That has to be higher than yeah, because
So,
9 out of 10 would
Sure.
be, and 8/9 I think is higher than 9/10, right?
Yes.
I'll figure this out.
No, it'd be lower.
Levitates on his chair. No, I don't think so.
It would be lower. 8 out of 9 would be lower.
That's a
than
good
9
score.
out of 10. I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
That because the only thing I didn't like was, well, actually there wasn't really anything I didn't like. I just think they could have potentially done the Leia scene a little differently, but I still didn't hate it. Had no problems with it, other than maybe they could have done it differently. And I think that's really it. What was the other scene that we were like, man?
You didn't like Canto Bight as much. Like that whole like area.
The
Like
casino?
the whole plot around that.
Casino place? Is that
That
was
subplot.
Candle Bite?
Plot.
Yeah, I agree. The stampede was not necessarily needed. And I wish we saw a little bit more of the actual casino than the jail. But
Rose was pretty meh.
I think I didn't.
I thought her character worked.
I thought it worked too. I think actually they should have killed her off in this movie
Yeah, I know. She
I
would have
think
been
she
way
should have
better of a
died from the
character
cannon.
if she died. Yeah.
because
maybe
I
she
don't want to
did.
see her again.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of my biggest concern with her. I'm just like I don't really want to see you in another one.
Right. Right.
Other than like her and Finn's like little love connection going on.
You liked that?
Well, I'd rather that than Finn and Rey. I like the Poe and Rey thing.
No, I don't like any of that. I think Ray should.
Poe and Rey.
Ray should be single.
I've
I
never
think
even
Rey should be single too.
thought of that.
Poe and Rey at the end. Did you not see that? He's like, "Hi," and she's like, "Hi."
I mean, how
They
many,
just met for the first time.
how many people said hi in the movie though? Is the question.
None.
That's true.
Literally none of
That's
them.
crazy
except for
though.
Those two.
When that happened, I was like, oh yeah, they've never met.
Yeah, they've never met before.
But really,
It's
have
like,
they
I
not?
know who you
No,
are.
they haven't.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, potentially they could have, because she was at the base, but he just
They didn't
wasn't
have
there.
time.
Yeah.
And they just didn't see each other, I guess. Whatever.
My one thing I have, and this is not even this is just me nitpicking, but whenever they bring in the dreadnought in the beginning, it goes like,
Dude, that thing is crazy.
They-
I love that ship.
they bring the cannons down, they charge
Me
them
too.
up, and the guy's like, fire on the base and all that, and I'm thinking like, why are they firing on the base? People are coming out of the base and going to
They're
the
not
ship.
Hit anybody.
Why are they not shooting at the ship first
That's
and then
true.
shooting at the
Another
base?
thing-
Because then they don't have anywhere to go.
Evan
That's
Malcolm,
true.
friend of the show, pointed out to me.
Friend of the
was
show.
Abrams and Ryan Johnson have done the same thing that the other movies haven't, where like when people come out of light
Yeah.
speed, they like make this big banging noise.
Yeah.
And the other movies didn't do that. Like it's just like
Yeah.
when they come out.
When the dreadnought
This
shows
movie
up
is
right
so
there
cool.
and like
Yeah,
the base
it's a
goes
good
like,
effect.
And like all the Death Stars, all the Star Destroyers are like boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
I
Yeah.
like that.
That was sweet.
That was
like in
cool.
in Rogue One when they do that, Vader's like in one of them, and you're just like, oh man, stuff's about to go down.
A ship like bounces off of the
Oh
Star
my
Destroyer.
Gosh, that
Oh
was
man,
sweet.
Rogue One's spaceship battle was, I think, the best one ever.
Oh,
That was pretty flawless.
and freaking.
That was the thing. This movie didn't
Yeah.
have a lot of those kind of things.
Yeah, it didn't.
Didn't have a lot of space battles.
Which
it
I'm
didn't.
hoping the next one is full of.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
mean,
all that's left to do.
but
They did have a
Ryan
space battle,
Johnson
it's
did
the most
say
boring one.
like the most important part of a movie is the story, and so like if you're making a story based on like what you want to see,
True.
it's not going to be any good. So like I don't think he was really concerned with that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you know,
But
people are
when
like,
I'm thinking
I
about
wish.
the next one. There's not much story that is left to tell. Almost, it's more just like to see how the rebellion beats the resistance.
I think they're gonna focus a lot on Kylo
The first order.
I think
on
they
the
will
last
too.
one.
It's going to be a lot
the
of Kylo
trilogy.
and Rey, I think,
Yeah.
and it's just going to be, and somehow Leia's going to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they? Yeah.
Also, I was a little bummed that Kylo didn't shoot his mom, but at the same time,
I'm not bummed.
it's like, yeah. No, but like that kind of just showed that he's still got light in him or whatever.
Well, he
But
just
he did
got.
do that at the beginning of the movie, and then after he got mad.
Well, the reason he got mad is because like Snoke is telling him like, you know, you
suck.
you have failed, and he's like, well, I killed Han Solo, and Kylo Ren is like, well, yeah, but the deed split your
So
soul.
do you
Now
think
you're
that's
light and dark.
Technically, Kylo's failure in the movie.
But even well, he had just come off of hearing that from Snoke, and he still couldn't like this
Yeah.
is the chance to like kind of prove Snoke
Right.
wrong, not hesitating, not having it affect him and all that. But he didn't even do it because he didn't think he was strong enough for it.
Yeah, and that kind of bummed me out because that means that he's still got a little light in him, and then
Yeah, but I'm glad. Carrie
No, I don't see it
didn't
as
die
light. I
from
think
a-
it's just as like him
random-
kind of being a coward.
oh, okay. I
Yeah.
hope you're right because I don't want to see him do any sort of good thing. I want to see him
Yeah.
angry Anakin Skywalker 2.0.
Mm-hmm. Anakin Skywalker versus Newt Gunray.
He's such a cool
Kylo
character.
Ren.
I love Kylo Ren. He's such a cool
He's very good.
character. All right, guys, let's wrap this up.
Rest in peace, Christian Haydenson. They should bring him back.
You mean Hayden Christensen?
Hayden Christensen. Christian
Christian
Haydenson. Wow, that's
That's
funny.
very-
Peace, Christian
Mess up.
Haydenson.
I mean, we could do a whole segment on flipping people's names around.
We could.
We could.
Ham Markle.
Ham Markle.
Ham Markle.
Do
I
we
don't know.
wanna
My
do
favorite
this?
character, Fish Carrier, was really good.
Fish carrier. Just carrying around a fish all day.
The Fish Carrier was really good.
Oh, that's great.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. This one was a little long. It was 48 minutes, but that's fine.
But this is filled
It's all
with
Star Wars stuff. People don't
quality.
listen to Star Wars.
full to the brim.
We're gonna have to do
This
another
is
one.
a special, bizarre.
We got to
podcast.
do another one on the next big movie, Avengers: Infinity War.
Looks
Did you see the trailer
incredible.
for that?
I did many times.
Gosh, that thing looks crazy.
It does.
I mean, at this point, I'm already so tired from superhero movies. I don't want to see any more superhero movies for a very long time.
Well, also
But
a
this
couple
one-
weeks either before or after that movie, the Han Solo movie comes out too.
It's weeks before.
It's like in the same month. I don't know when. I think Avengers comes out May
That's gonna be-
4th, May 3rd.
What?
And then
Han Solo's
Han Solo
coming.
doesn't come
Han Solo
There's
comes out
no
in
way.
May. Yeah.
Are you serious?
What?
May 2018?
Yeah, I think so. Let me double
No
check.
way.
I'm pretty sure.
That'd be crazy.
Are you serious?
I'm
There's no way.
Does that mean
Then what
there's
are they gonna do
90%
this-
sure.
Was there no Star
That
Wars
means
movie
9's
December?
Gonna be the winter time? No, there's no way that 9's gonna
Not
be this winter.
next winter, the winter after.
Oh,
it was
That'd be a little.
it was
that's a long
9 was
wait.
supposed to come out next spring. So spring of 2019, but then whenever they fired Colin Trevorrow or whatever his name was, the guy that did Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
and they brought J.J. Abrams back in, they pushed it back cuz they rewrote all the story.
Wait, so
JJ.
what are they doing this winter?
Nothing.
That's sad.
Aw,
They're going to leave it to
I guess they're just gonna focus on.
I don't know what
9.
they're going to do. May 25th, 2018.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my
Dang.
gosh.
That's crazy.
So we don't have a long time to wait.
We don't.
Interesting.
I'm going to fail all my finals in May because these two movies.
I am so excited for Ewan McGregor to be
Oh, yeah.
Ben Kenobi.
Obi-Wan movie got.
Yeah.
I don't
Accepted?
think it's confirmed that he is
He's not.
Obi-Wan,
It's
but
not confirmed.
he's confirmed in my mind. I've confirmed
He's
it.
aged perfectly for it.
Yeah, yes.
The one thing I'm wondering is like what the story's going to be about.
Welcome to
I mean,
Bizarre
it's gonna be
Podcast
about
After
Obi-Wan,
Show.
but what did Obi-Wan do?
I don't know.
Oh, he did. He just watched. He babysat.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Watch
It's just
reruns of
killing.
Family Feud.
It's
What are they
it's
called?
called-
Sand people all the time.
It's called Babysitter, a Star Wars story. Oh man! All right, guys. Brenton, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. This was
Yeah,
enjoyable.
you're welcome. We got to do it again in May.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, guys.
David,
You know,
You're
you're really
getting
good as a
there,
guest.
man.
We should
Thank
bring
you.
you on many more times.
we'll keep growing. You'll get there. All right.
I've arrived.
Oh well. All right, everybody. Peace.
It's in my face.